Yes. This is a review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2016, the sequel to the 2014 one, which was on the Kal Kat channel, the Megan Fox one. The first one was aired as part of the Summer Movies 2014. It wasn't even aired as a single thing. Ninja Turtles 2016, recommended by Jim, Jim Tacon, who didn't really see it, has some elements of the cartoon to please the fans, including Krang and the Technodrome, Shredder being more like Shredder. The Turtles are slightly better, although they could do away with the nerd glasses on the smart one, because that's dumb. He doesn't need to have nerd glasses. It's stupid. Well, they have the Turtle Van, which is a converted garbage truck, but it's Turtle Van rumbles around the city at one point, and so your basic plot of the story, if there is one, is that the Shredder's henchmen, who they don't explain who they are, the Shredder's henchmen, in typical Michael Bay fashion, want to bust the Shredder out of a prison convoy. And around the same time, we have April O'Neil, who tries to infiltrate Baxter Stockman's little gathering at a coffee shop and goes incognito for some reason as a Japanese schoolgirl, even though that doesn't make sense. Catholic schoolgirl / Japanese school. And she steals some pants or something. Yeah, to hack his computer, even though he's a scientist, to take the information, which wouldn't work. I would think it would be okay. Yeah, you cannot jailbreak a cell phone. It was all over the news. You can't do that. So she couldn't have done that. She could not have hacked into a cell phone with a magical turtle device. That wouldn't work. But it's kind of like a cartoon. So Johnny Knoxville is not in this one. They've replaced him. The Raphael character acts more like Raphael, so the Turtles fans will like that. The director of this one clearly understood the cartoon better and wanted to do Krang, Technodrome, but he also didn't understand some of the other stuff, and I'm not sure why he screwed that up. The most embarrassingly miscast character is Casey Jones, who in the original Ninja Turtles movie and the show was clearly sort of a New York hockey musclehead guy. He had to be that again, because he can't be the guy from Arrow. I've never seen Arrow, but it's just completely the wrong casting. No, that guy's not Casey Jones. He could be the Rat King, but he's not Casey Jones. He's not the Rat King, but he could have been cast as him. There's a subplot where they claim the cameraman is the one that stopped the Shredder, which is kind of stupid. Megan Fox is not convincing as a reporter or a thief, I don't know if it looks so much like she didn't want to be there as much as she didn't want to be playing April. Yeah, well, they miscast her. She shouldn't be playing April. Should be. There's a number of other people that would have been a better choice. Can't think of one right now, but it should be somebody that's not Liz, the smoking hot sort of type of that type. It's the wrong casting. I would say a redheaded Irish actress probably would have worked better. Something that was, you could have the hotness, but you'd also have the savvy and stuff like that. You didn't get the idea that the character was as smart as the character indicated. The Turtles are handled a little better. Splinter's handled a little better. But the floor is really given to Bebop and Rocksteady, two of the criminals that were on the convoy. The movie is mainly about them. They finally did Bebop and Rocksteady. But the way they get to them doesn't make sense. They use the mutagen to find their inner animal, which is very Japanese, but it doesn't work because they're not. So we have a warthog, and we have a rhino, and we have Ninja Turtles. sort of doing battle with them sometimes. There's a mad sort of caper to go and find the alien device that Shredder and Krang need to get so they can bring the Technodrome to our dimension. They do that. They have to go get the device in Brazil in the jungle, so they can have a jungle scene. Jumping from a plane, no physics whatsoever. A moving plane going hundreds of miles an hour to another plane going in the other direction, 100 miles an hour. Jump down onto it. And they wait like at least 3 or 4 minutes while they're looking outside, and the other plane is like it's floating underneath the plane the whole time, so they're able to go boop, boop. Which of course they wouldn't be. This plane would be like way the heck over there, long gone, and this third guy would be like. But yeah, and then they chase them down to the planet. And they end up somewhere in the jungle, but they never explain how they got home. Yeah, they just said, oh, they're home now. They're back in New York. How? Like, okay. That doesn't make any sense. At least explain, okay. And how did they get on a plane? But yeah, okay, so their homing device or whatever. Nope, they didn't explain that. Casey Jones has his mask on once, and he doesn't sound like he's from New York at all. He sounds like he's from the suburbs of, like Los Angeles or something. He sounds like a businessman or something. Not even a valley guy or anything, just a businessman guy. He's playing the cop character, so he's kind of like the Robin in the Batman movies. Yeah, like they said on the Stone Gremlins review that I just watched as well. Are handled a little better. Bebop and Rocksteady's a little better. The chase scenes are fun. CG is sketchy sometimes. If I understand, there's a 3D version, which probably makes it look worse. Yeah, I thought XD big screen, so you could really tell the CG was kind of shitty. But for a Ninja Turtles movie that was trying to pay homage to the cartoon. Even the glorious 1987 cartoon song is sort of retconned at the end. You get to hear the song. But everybody goes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in the Half Shell, Turtle Power, you know. but yeah, that's in there at the end. So the director clearly had his mind, he had it in the heart in the right place. He just needed to get rid of all of that backstory about the cops and the lab and the extra cop lady that's in it because she's a famous actress from something. I don't know, maybe Game of Thrones. And she didn't need to be in there. And Casey Jones didn't need to be in there because they didn't do him right. But the other stuff kind of works. Yeah, some other critics have already said, no, I didn't like this part where, the Technodrome part was silly and Krang looked silly and whatever. Well, he's an amorphous blob brain thing. I mean, he's an amorphous brain thing. How do you make that not look silly? I mean, come on. It's going to look silly. Try to do Krang. It just is. So I don't blame him for that. That was okay. It's probably, the critics are being unfair to it. They're saying it's like 30%. It's like 1.5. Let's be like 1 star or 1.5 stars. It's not that bad. I would say it's on a par with Secret of the Ooze, which it's a cousin, which was a Ninja Turtles movie that was really weak in a lot of ways, but some of the jokes worked and some of it was fun and it was 1991, I think, and if you consider this sort of these newer movies being a sort of spin-off of the Ninja Turtles 2007, it's a spin-off of that, then it kind of makes sense. And that other movie, as opposed to it being a spin-off of the 90s movies. But they have Krang and the robot, and it looks like Krang from the cartoon. But yeah, so it's kind of works in some ways and kind of doesn't in others. April O'Neil is completely miscast. Casey Jones is even more miscast. That actually makes April O'Neil's character make more sense, because Casey is badly miscast. I think if they wanted to get somebody who was a decent actor out there, they should have got like L.A. Beast. He could have done it. But I don't think he does acting. I think he's just a YouTube celebrity. Doesn't do that kind of acting. So yeah, they tried to harken back to the first Ninja Turtles movie, and they got Secret of the Ooze, which in some ways, well, they got Toga and Razor in that one, and it really didn't work. This one is like an apology to that, kind of saying, no, it should have been Bebop and Rocksteady. It always should have been. Here's Bebop and Rocksteady. And I think that one flows better in the lab scene, the takeover scene, and all that other stuff as well than this one did. Except for the Vanilla Ice, which they had to reference a little bit at the end for some reason. The Vanilla Ice, that part was stupid. The last, you go back to that original Secret of the Ooze, and that part ruined the ending of the movie. Giant Shredder, ooh, he pulls a dock onto himself. Go Ninja, go, Vanilla Ice. That part ruined the ending of the movie. But it's like, in this case, the Shredder gets frozen in carbonite or something to be an action figure later. But it's like dimension. Yeah, it was like watching the 80s cartoon, but done as a movie. Just they had everything wrong. Now, who could have played April O'Neil? Maybe the lady from the Cinderella movie could have played her. That would have worked instead of Megan Fox, because we really don't necessarily need her in something. She's just there. She'd be good in like a perfume commercial or maybe a teen comedy. She would have been okay in Neighbors 2. They could have put her in that. Would have made more sense than Chloe Moritz in that one. Because in that case, they miscast Chloe Moritz in that movie. She couldn't play April, though, Chloe Moritz. But yeah, the Turtles is handled a little better. The Splinter part is handled a little better. There's a backstory of like the mutagen can make them humanoid, which doesn't make any sense. It's a good thing they kind of retcon that. I'm giving away some spoilers, but there were 4 of us in the theater on a Friday during the day. 4 of us. So that's not good. But the first Ninja Turtles movie was like 4 stars. The second, Secret of the Ooze, was about 3 stars, except for that ending pulled it down from 3.5 to 3 stars. Ninja Turtles 3, 2 years after that, was 2 stars. It was just, or even 1.5. It was really bad. And Ninja Turtles 4, which was the 2007 one, was strange. 2.5 roughly stars. They were trying really hard. The 2014 one though is what did I give that one? 2.5, I think. Not really 3. It wasn't that great. It was on a par with Part 3, the 2014 one. This one is on a par with Part 2. Yeah, roughly 2.5, 3 stars. 2.5 stars. Bordering on 3. So I gave it a higher score than Stone Gremlins because with the Turtles movie, I give it some slack. Turtles cut them slack, huh? In that it's in that if it wasn't for the casting issues, I think it would have been a good movie. If it wasn't for the convoluted other stuff, it would have been a better movie. I would have taken liberty. I would have recast Casey Jones in April. I would have had someone else be the lead and just not done that. I would have got another April O'Neil because she's not right for the part, and she didn't want to be there, clearly. So that's Ninja Turtles. Oh yeah, the previews, which they probably didn't go over, included an odd little preview about the Kobo and the Two Strings, which was a movie about looks like it's CG animation puppets combined, manga sort of thing, anime manga thing, about a little boy who goes on an adventure with a baboon thing. Okay, and then we have a trailer for Star Trek Beyond, which is a better trailer than the other trailer. It has the bombastic Star Trek sounding music, and it has a slightly better cut of the trailer with different scenes. It's the second trailer, and it works. So it might be all right. They might redeem the other trailer. They had a trailer for Ghostbusters, and the 4 people in the audience didn't so much moan as whimper. That was the reaction to this trailer. It's like, oh my god, what the hell is this? Yeah, it's like, and it's not that it's Lady Ghostbusters, it's that the jokes don't work, and the story doesn't work. Yeah, it has nothing to do with gender politics or anything. It's just, the trailer looks awful. It's like, who directed this? And then we come to monster trucks, which looks like something I would have thought of when I was 12 years old. There's a monster that crawls inside of a truck that has no engine and drives the frickin' truck. An alien monster in the truck. Monster trucks. I don't know what to make of that movie. It looks bizarre. How does it spin its... I would think every time it made its wheels move with its tentacle hands, it would chafe massively on its hands. I couldn't do that. It reminds me of a toy line years ago, which combined that, which is probably what they're thinking of. There was sort of Jason the Wheeled Warriors, as well as another toy line that was involving monsters and trucks. I think it was called Monster Tracks or something. There were these little toys that had like monster treads would come out and their little feet would come out. So, and there would be little monster trucks. So yeah, I don't know. Weird previews. Anyway, that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2016. Yeah, guys, let me write the next one. I'll fix it. And no, get another Casey Jones and get another April. And Transformers 5, The Last Night title does not make sense. He's the last Prime, call it that. Anyways, Prime, that makes more sense. Besides, they already did that with Part 3 with the Sentinel Prime. So it wasn't really the last Prime. Sentinel Prime was. Yeah. So, anyway, their pizza interrupts the game, which would immediately cause a foul, and they would be like, oh, yeah, that doesn't count if a pizza fell from the ceiling. And how did that happen? Anyway, next.